Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Drug Story Hour Arizona, and we're a part of the Virtual Arizona Pride third Saturday, first event of the year. So, welcome, everybody. I'm happy to be with y'all. Now, I'm ecstatic to be introducing our two lovely authors. We have the pleasure of being here with Sandy Badmus and Shambrekia Wise, authors of the Sightseeing with Sandy series. I think we have another person here.
It's Zuma. So he's one of the main characters in each book. So we actually have a few of these left, and I can send you all the information if you want to share on how people can get their own Zuma.
That sounds fantastic. We'll go ahead and make sure to get that here. And I went ahead and created a bit.ly link. If you're interested in any of the books, just go ahead and go on to the link that is running on the bottom of our screen there. Or we can go ahead and share it in the comments, and that will get you a copy of Sightseeing with Sandy, The City of Lights. Now, can you tell us a bit about the book we're going to be reading today?
Absolutely. So which one is this that we're reading?
Sightseeing with Sandy, The City of Lights.
The City of Lights. So we're highlighting Paris, and it actually comes from a personal experience as well. I was very blessed and fortunate to go to Paris a few years ago for Le Dîner en Blanc, and I just love the city. It was absolutely beautiful. The food was great. The people were great. The sights were just historic, artsy scene, of course, and it was just a girl's dream. And if I didn't have this one to come back home to, I would have stayed. But it was just gorgeous. So I took some of the sights that I saw and, the experiences that I didn't get to have, and actually put those in the book. And we always do our research together. And so she definitely made a point to let me know she wanted to come on the next trip over, but this was kind of like an opportunity for her to see it in a different way. So it was really, really fun to do. It was, kind of bringing back some of those memories and just the excitement and everything. So especially in a time now we can't travel, it's just nice to kind of have that nostalgia going on.
For sure. Now, I'm curious, for our readers who might not know much about Paris, why is it called the City of Lights?
So, definitely the Eiffel Tower. It just lights up so beautifully at a certain time each night, and you just have to see it. Like once you see that, that's your answer. And actually, on our promo video, I have the light show on there, so it's just gorgeous, and we just had a beautiful time.
Sandia, was there a fact about Paris that was your favorite?
Yes.
Yes?
He didn't go to Paris. She just helped me write the book for this one. But what was your favorite part of the book?
The macaron part.
The macaron part. My child is my child. She likes to eat just like me. So she's had her fair share of macarons too.
I love macarons. When I first had one, it was the end. I just annihilate a box. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share that promo video that Shambrekia mentioned. You can follow Sightseeing with Sandy on Instagram and Facebook. I definitely recommend because you can find a lot of great pictures. It looks like Freddie Prinze Charming went ahead and commented in all about the French pastries. As we recently...
He can make some. I know he can.
And Felicia puts in, yes, let's eat.
Hi, Felicia.
All righty, y'all. Are we ready for a book reading?
We are ready. Let me get ready and share my screen.
Brilliant. I'm so excited.
Hold on just a second here. Michelle, can you see my screen?
Sure can.
Okay, perfect.
I do this part. Is it dedicated?
It's dedicated.
I dedicate this book to Papa Tom. Thank you for all you did for us, and I hope I lived up to be one of your wildest dreams.
Good job.
Sightseeing with Sandy, the City of Light. Calculated by Cindy Bemis and Shambrekia Wise. Illustrated
by Catherine
Horatio.
And edited by Amy Betts. Hey, Sandy, give yours a little more string so we can.
Can you share? It looks like the screen sharing got kicked off.
Oh,
Can you give it a click?
Yes. Let's try this again. Share screen. Yep. Share the screen. What about now?
There we go.
Perfect. Hey, Sandy, give yours a little more string so it can go higher, said Mommy. Their last spring day in Paris was perfect for flying kites near the Eiffel Tower's base.
Mommy,
shouted Sandy.
Look at us.
While holding Zuma's paw, Sandy watched her purple kite tease the clouds and soar with the birds. She and Zuma had matching outfits because that's what you did in Paris. You're doing great, Pumpkin, said Mommy. Now tie your kite down so we can eat lunch. Nana had gone to pick up a few croissants along with some cheeses, jams, meats, fruits, and water. While Mommy laid out the picnic spread, Nana read from her guidebook. The Eiffel Tower is in the 7th arrondissement. We're not far from the beautiful Trocadero Gardens. I'd love to check that out. All of a sudden, Sandy gasped.
Mommy, my kite is tangled with that other kite.
Mommy had just started to pull the kite down when she felt a tug in the opposite direction. The other kite belonged to a little boy about Sandy's age. Bonjour. Hello, said Mommy. Bonjour, madame. C'est mon cerf-volant. That means, hello, madam. That is my kite, said the little boy, speaking in French, of course. Nous sommes désolés. That means we're sorry, said Mommy. Sandy's mom had taken some French classes in college and was thankful she remembered enough to be able to apologize. Sandy ran up to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Zendaya, and this is Zuma. I'm 6,
she said.
What's your name?
I'm Sasha. This is Maxime, and this is my mom, replied the boy. I'm 6 too. Maxime was Sasha's favorite stuffed toy. He looked just like Zuma. Do you live here? Asked Sandy. Yes, we live in the 1st arrondissement, very close to the Musée du Louvre, said Sasha. We're going there now. Would you care to join us?
Can we please, Mommy?
Begged Sandy. We'd love to have you. I'm giving a tour today. Sasha's mother worked as a curator for the museum. We need to make a few more stops. Will you still be there in an hour? Asked Mommy. Bien sûr. That means of course, said Sasha's mom. We'll add you to our guest list. Sandy and Sasha said goodbye, and each family went their way. Sandy was curious where they were headed.
Where else do we have to go?
Asked Sandy. Everywhere. Buckle up, kid, said Mommy with a laugh. And they were off. First stop, the Champs-Élysées, a wide avenue full of shops that runs from Place de la Concorde to the Arc de Triomphe. Mommy,
look. Can we stop at stand? Mommy, there's that macaroon place you talk about. Lottery. Can we stop?
Asked Sandy. How can I say no to my favorite macaroons? Lottery has some of the best in Paris. They sell about 15,000 macaroons each day, said Mommy.
Wow,
said Sandy. Let's go inside. You can pick whatever flavor you want, said Mommy. When Sandy bit into her very first vanilla bean macaroon, she knew exactly why her mother loved Lottery. Their next stop was the Grand Palais.
What is this place?
Asked Sandy.
It looks like a palace.
Very good. It's actually called the Grand Palais, which means Great Palace. It has been used for everything from a military hospital during World War I to an art exhibition hall. Papa Tom was in World War I, Nana chimed in with pride. Really?
Really?
said Sandy. Yes, he was, Sandy, said Nana. Thomas Stanley was his name. He was a corporal in the Quartermaster Corps. I'll tell you more about him when we get back home, said Nana.
Okay, what's next?
Asked Sandy. We'll walk through the Tuileries garden and then head to the Musée du Louvre, said Mommy. And just like that, they crossed over from the 8th arrondissement to the 1st arrondissement. Sandy admired the lush gardens and beautiful springtime trees, but nothing compared to seeing the Louvre.
Mommy, it's gorgeous. It's just like my picture. And there's Sasha and his mom and friends,
exclaimed Sandy. Sandy and Sasha hugged like they hadn't seen each other in years. He quickly introduced her to his classmates. Their mothers smiled at the blooming friendship. Within minutes, they were inside gazing at some of the world's most iconic paintings and sculptures. Sasha's mom was the curator for the Department of Egyptian Antiques. Sandy was in love with the Egyptian artifacts, especially Queen Ty. The afternoon with Sasha and his mom flew by, and suddenly it was time to go. Oh my goodness, said Mommy. I didn't even notice how late it was. We still need to pack for our flight tomorrow. We should all stay in touch, Sasha's mom said, offering her business card. Oh, we most definitely will, said Mommy. Thank you again for your kindness. Sasha, it was so nice meeting you, and good luck with that kite. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir, Sandy. Écrivez-moi, s'il vous plaît. That means thank you very much. Goodbye, Sandy. Please write, said Sasha.
Oh, I will send you a postcard from Washington, D.C. Take my card,
said Sandy. She also had a card she exchanged with her newfound friends. I love Washington. Take a picture at the National Air and Space Museum. My favorite pilot is from America, said Sasha.
Who's that?
Asked Sandy. Bessie Coleman, exclaimed Sasha. Sandy's mom smiled. How interesting. We'll make sure to send you something special when we visit. Goodbye. After driving for a few moments, Sandy didn't think they were going the right way.
Mommy, why are we at the Mommy, why are we at the Arc de Triomphe?
She asked. It's a surprise, said Mommy. They all climbed 284 stairs before reaching the top. This view is absolutely stunning, said Nana. Sandy could see the entire city, but the sparkling lights of the Eiffel Tower were the most captivating.
The lights, they're so pretty.
I hope you've had a wonderful time in Paris, little bit, said Mommy.
It was magical,
replied Sandy.
Merci beaucoup, Mommy. Thank you so much, Mommy.
After their visit to the Arc de Triomphe, the trio hopped in their car and headed back to their hotel. Sandy washed up, packed her small bag, said goodnight, and then climbed straight into bed with Zuma. She was exhausted from their busy day in Paris, but she was already excited for her next big adventure. The end.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
I would like to give a shout out to Shannon Black of Free Mom Hugs Arizona.
Hi,
she is the reason that we have this wonderful book signed and everything. And I think it's fantastic. We have
it was really, really fun to do. This one, we actually went a few steps further. As you see in those remaining pages, we actually gave you some backstory on Queen Ty, which I want people to actually check out the book so they can learn a little bit about her too. But I believe I actually have an IG post on her as well. It was just so amazing doing the research about these, collections and the antiques and everything like that they have at the Louvre. And I didn't even know those were there, honestly. It was just so much to see. You just didn't even have time to just take it all in and really appreciate the beauty of, Paris in a whole for one trip, especially for a few days. But yeah, I learned about that Egyptian collection and then Queen Ty's backstory. And I was like, that would be perfect to put in here because, with her rich history and just her being Nubian descent, essentially. Like it was just awesome. And I was like, that's something that, kids need to see, because we learn about the same ones, and we hear, the Cleopatras and the Nefertitis, but there was so much more, and not shading them at all because they were just as amazing. But I just really feel like that representation of seeing those women and men of years before and years past, it's important to bring their stories to the front so our kids can just be, as educated and exposed to those as they are mainstream.
Definitely. So we have a question here. Freddie wished a good day and was happy to see this. And Cassandra Porter went ahead and said it was so sweet.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Andrea Cook does have a question.
The
next big adventure?
So we're actually working on a few. We're checking out Jamaica, and they're going to be on a special hunt there. And so there is something special about Jamaica, and they export a lot of this. And I've already given away that clue. So Sandy and her friends are going to be doing Mommy a big favor, because it's one thing Mommy needs to start her day with as much as she possibly can. So her and her friends are going to go find this special gem and make sure Mommy gets what she needs to start her days.
And am I wrong, but are there more clues in the back of this book as well?
There are. If you actually want to read them, you can. I'm happy to share too. I know that we're hitting up Jamaica, Washington, D.C., Chicago. I believe we're going over to the West Coast and to San Francisco. And we'll learn about a really awesome surfer in that book, too, that even I didn't know about. So this has just been really, really fun to do. And that has actually spilled over into the card game that we're creating right now. So we'll be doing a crowdfunding opportunity with that, and, some really cool beneficial packages for people that, are our first buys and everything, to say thank you for the support. But honestly, it's just another step of educating kids on a world that's just not so accessible to them, especially in the midst of a pandemic. But also, financial barriers, parents' work. It's just so much that keeps people, and especially kids, from traveling. But, these cards that we're doing and the books that we're writing, it brings them home. So I'm really excited about that.
Definitely. And if you're wanting to read this book and see all those special extras, and you just can't wait for it to be delivered, it is available as an ebook on Amazon as well. Just click on that link. You'll be directed onto it. And I was just wondering if we can just have some discussion. We talked a little bit at the beginning of the type of research that went into this book. How do you go into researching?
So what I first do, I let this one pick out the places. Like we have a globe actually right up here, and we'll spin a globe, and she'll pick a country, or she'll pick a continent that she wants to, focus in on, and I'll highlight some of the really cool countries. And what I'll do, I'll go to those countries that are most traveled, because that's where I'm starting, but I'm also hitting those countries that are not, so explored either in this series that we're writing on. And so I'll do my research, and I'll find out, these things are popular. And so I'll try my best to find things that kids can kind of incorporate themselves into, and like weave their likes into it. And I ask her, like, hey, what would you do if you were here? What kind of mission would you go on? Like, what would you and your friends do? What kind of things would you want to eat? Or, she's a party girl, so apparently she likes to go partying too. So we find out, fun carnivals and festivals and everything too, because again, we're highlighting culture and we're highlighting history. So we just make it a really fun opportunity for kids to learn about and see through the eyes of, a little kid and her favorite stuffed little animal. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is. And then my illustrator, she's just amazing. I can't draw half the things that she has come up with, but she takes my verbal, expressions of like the type of art that I want to see, and then she looks at the narration, and she just creates these beautiful images. Amy, huge shout out to her. She used to work at Scholastic and Disney, so she gets it. She has the gift. She just knows what she's doing. I've never met either one of these women in person. We met through Upwork, actually. And I love working with them. And it's been such a pleasure. And I'm just happy to have a strong team of women to helping me, especially this one.
Fantastic. Felicia Miner has a question. What is the most interesting things that you've learned while writing these books?
I have to be selfish and answer this, and it's how little of the world I've seen. And it's like, you grow up, it's like, go to school, get a good job, then. And I'm so envious of the kids that are in school now, because it's like, oh, go do your whole, year off thing, and, don't go straight into the workforce right now. And I think that's the most important thing, because that's really how you get to learn about different people and different cultures. And I think really and truly, I know we wanted to kind of have a more in-depth conversation about some things, but it crosses over into that. I think if we spend more time learning about people and appreciating our differences, not necessarily accepting everything, because that may not be who you are as a person, and that's okay. But just being able to respect human beings and hate and love, I think that we would be so much better off, and our next generations would be better off for that too. So that's what I'm really loving that I get to do while writing these books, because I feel like every time I write a book and I actually have poignant conversations with this one, it instills something different in her. So it's like, I can't do everything right, but I try. And hopefully, other kids, will have Sandy's innocence eyes, and will see the world as like this place of possibilities, and see potential friends instead of foes, and just trying to create a better place, one book at a time, hopefully.
So you mentioned that, we have another comment in here. Cassandra asks, Zendaya, what's your favorite thing about writing these books with your mom?
Great question. Creativity. What about it? What about that you get to do that's creative?
Eat macaroons and visiting Paris and seeing the Eiffel Tower and the other places of Paris.
Is it fun listening to the stories that your mom tells about her experiences?
Yes.
It is. I have a question. What's your favorite flavor of macaron?
I know mine.
I don't know, because I used to have macaroons a long time ago, but I can't remember what my favorite flavor was.
The blue one is the vanilla bean, and the green one is the pistachio. Was there another color that you liked? Because I can tell you which ones they were.
Pink.
The pink one is raspberry. So she loves raspberry. And then it's another pink one, but the filling is the one that you like. Is it the white filling or the pink filling too? So the pink cookie and the pink filling, or the pink cookie and the white filling?
Pink cookie, white filling.
The pink cookie white filling is the raspberry.
Pink cookie, pink filling.
That's strawberry.
I love both.
What about yourself, Shambrekia?
Vanilla bean all day. I love vanilla bean. It's so good. And I have sat in my bathroom shamelessly and ate them because I didn't want to.
I am a huge fan of the rose flavored ones.
Those are really good.
So good. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Let's go to another question in the comments here. Felicia Miner asks, not every parent can write about books with their children. What have you learned about each other working with one another?
She's reminded me of how much life, even in bad times, that there is to still appreciate and enjoy, and be able to, just share your gifts, even in times like a pandemic. Like, still do what you can to spread good. She also showed me like how fun her childhood is because it's just like, I think by me not really structuring a path, so to say, for her, and allowing her to kind of just be this little free kid, correcting when necessary, of course, but I just see how ready she is for different situations, and how, she doesn't really back down from things. It's like, she will try and figure things out. And there are still some times where she like will draw back and she gets easily discouraged. But I feel like these trips and just being able to experience certain things, like our last big trip was to LA, and she saw the beach for the first time. So much water, right? But she ran straight into it. I'm like, no, you are not bigger than the current. And so I'm like going after her. But it was just so fun and freeing for her. And you just saw this different kid when she, got to actually experience these things hands on. But, actually, being home and not really being able to go anywhere, even still learning about these places, she's like, I want to do that. Or she'll ask questions, and they're not just superficial questions. They're like thought driven questions. So I really appreciate that. And hopefully like we keep that up. Hopefully.
Another question from the comments. After the pandemic, is there any chance for a book tour?
It's so funny that y'all say that. So who asked that question, first of all?
Alicia. We're trying to get you back here in Arizona. We'll take you all around Arizona too.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm hoping this summer to take a few weeks off and do a road trip. So that's actually going to be, we'll have more information about that with our campaign and everything. But I was like, you know what? There have been so many amazing opportunities for us this past year. We've talked to Apple and Sony, and we've had conversations with different people that just, really kind of gave us guiding information at Netflix and, potential opportunities with HBO Max and just exploring these different things. And shout out to Wendy and Mike Owens. They are just absolutely incredible people. They are great animators. And they are just so selfless. And it's been really amazing to see their gifts and how much they, would be willing to pour into us, if that was a road that was open to us. But, one thing I've learned this journey, there's just some things we can't control. And money is definitely one of those things that, is a huge factor in creating animation. Because what you don't do is skimp talent. You have to have that greatness and that level of expertise to convey the thoughts and get across the messages that you want to an animation, because you can have a whole cartoon that says nothing but says everything if you have the right animators. So, I've learned that there are things that I don't have the power to control right now, not forever, but right now. But I can absolutely control a road trip. I think I can control this one. And going different places and just, being able to show her sights. Can't go across the whole world within a few weeks. But we're going to go some really cool places. Really excited about that. So that will be our version of that. And we're going to have like a little mini show. And we'll make sure to link you guys on everything. But I'm just looking forward to it, because at the end of the day, we get to create memories. And that means more to me than anything.
Well, I know that Drag Queen Story Hour, as a headquarter organization, I can definitely talk to some of our other chapters here in Arizona. We would love to have y'all.
We would love to take a trip. Freddie's feeding me, so he didn't probably know that.
Yes. He'll be knocking down Freddie's door to get some of that food.
I am.
For all of y'all who don't know, Freddie Piss Charming, who is another one of our hosts, just posts these torturous, wonderful food posts.
In the middle of the pandemic.
So delicious.
So good. I think my favorite one has been, I think it was a flourless chocolate cake that he made recently. And then it was the cabbage and bacon dish that just looked ungodly, but so good. I was like, please do that for me.
Oh my goodness. To go along in the conversation here, did y'all know that today is National World Day of Social Justice?
Yes.
Yes. What does social justice mean to you?
The first time I saw that phrase, I was like, why do we even have to call it social justice? It should be a social right. Like, it should be a right for people to be taken care of. Like, we're not put down here on earth by ourselves. We're put down here to live life, to live with purpose, and to help people. And I think, especially those causes that are really close to my heart, human rights, children, period, just, their safety, their nourishment, their, just protection, that those are the ones that are closest to my heart and probably for obvious reasons, right? But just doing good by people. I just don't think that should even be a question. So I really hope, my books play a small part in just communicating, like, again, hate, love, and just spread good. Do good by other people, see the beauty, of differences. I purposely use kids in this book that, look different. And then one kid looks normal, right? Looks like she's completely fine. She doesn't have the little sling like the little girl that probably jumped off a table and broke her arm. And then there was a little boy in a wheelchair. But then there's this one little girl and she looks completely fine. But actually she represents those people that have invisible issues and invisible handicaps. And I can speak firsthand from that, having multiple sclerosis. Like, I look fine today, but this week when we didn't have power, we didn't have lights, it was ridiculously cold, I felt some type of neurological issue going on, because it's like my body just was like, no, we can't do this. Like, you need to get us where it's warm. And thank God we have places to go. But number one, that's not everybody's situation. And again, just because you see me look okay, that does not mean that I'm always okay. So hopefully these books will teach us to be a little bit more conscious and be a little bit more thoughtful and forgiving of, situations that may hinder people. Because I just don't think that we are in situations to be so judgmental to where we're high enough to where we can't help. I don't think that that's what we're here for. So I hope that, today means a lot more to people that are especially in those positions to do more. So, and that's what I'm trying to teach.
I myself am a firm believer that representation does help with social justice movements. And I do appreciate you bringing up the representation that's in your book, focusing on children. I myself see the focus on children being more of the more of the characters that move along the plot being important, because a lot of the times children aren't seen as human beings and capable of making these decisions for themselves and things of that sort. And as a parent, it shows in the book that maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're maybe a believer of sort of guiding and seeing how everything goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really cool thing to have in the books. It shows you're on the side of the kids, which is what Drag Story Hour is all about. We're on the side of the little readers, and we want to make sure that our readers are taken care of. Now, when it comes to representation, you and Felicia did speak about this in the last Story Hour author talk that we had. When was it?
Oh my gosh, I think it was March. Was it May? It was May. It was in May. Yes.
It was in May? Okay.
I knew it was the M month. It's been a whole blur of a year.
Yeah. 2020, we don't know. Time didn't exist in 2020. But
you just got me. Hope that's okay.
If a person were to be writing a book on their end, what would be the tip that you would give them about why representation matters?
I would tell them, just don't do it off of looks alone. Because I think for some people, they think diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's just like, oh, let me just get people that look like me, that have a different skin tone than me, or, come from a different country than I do. I think you have to take into account, people's backgrounds, because I can never give you the story on a person that grew up living at top 1% level on any, in any situation. I can give you my rule of bringing and how things impacted me as a kid growing up and how things impacted, my friends growing up. I can give you that backstory, but I still don't think it even lessens the person who's on the completely different opposite end of the spectrum, because I think that we can both learn from each other. Right. So I think diversity and inclusion should include everyone. Representation absolutely matters. And that goes from the person like the kids in the book, that goes from the one with the temporary disability to the permanent disability, to the invisible disability. It very much matters who is sitting at the table. And also, it's even more important that we give everyone space at a table, because that is how we grow and that's how we become better.
That's brilliant. And along with giving everybody a space at the table, giving everybody that voice and amplifying that voice will bring it along. And it's a lot better than it used to be.
It is.
But the children's publishing world can work on being a lot more diverse than what it is. So I greatly appreciate being able to add these to our collection and have it on a little bookshelf where we're probably going to have to dedicate it to Shannon at this point, or free mom hugs, because of all of the donations we got here. But it's a great thing to be a part of this journey and seeing Sandy and Zuma go on their adventures and possibly seeing them grow along the way.
It's been fun.
So we are here after you've had a pretty wild week.
Yeah. So I was canoeing in my garage. But I'm very blessed because, like I said, my power and my water was restored about a day and a half-ish ago. It was so cold here in Texas. I mean, like, it was unprecedented. I think I saw an article today where it was like we had the largest, power outage in the history of this country. And I was just like, I'll believe it. And it was freezing. And it was so sad because so many people, she's right there, but so many people didn't make it. And it was heartbreaking for me, because ultimately it was parents just trying to keep their kids warm, or people just trying to survive. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. And just to give you the idea of how not ready Texans or the state was ready for what happened, there was a lady at Home Depot where we were getting the 2x4s cut up into pieces because there was no firewood anywhere else. She asked me if she could use lighter fluid in her house. And I said, Dear Heavenly Father, like, would she have tried this if I wasn't standing here just having conversation with her? And who knows what that would have resulted in. So I said, I realize you don't have any starter logs. I was like, but these are the things that you can do in place of that. I was like, they still have plenty of boxes over there. They'll get you some boxes, cut up the cardboard. That works too. That can help you start the fire and get the 2x4s hot enough so at least they can catch a fire and burn. But I was like, no. And just, you saw the number of house fires that were here behind generators and carbon monoxide poisoning. It's just sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah, especially here in Arizona, I don't think I've ever, or Phoenix at least, I've never really had any need to start a fire other than recreational.
Okay,
I don't think I know how to start one.
Yeah, we cooked on my stove. I'm not stove, on my fireplace back there with a cast iron. I think I had actually put the video on Facebook, and I want to say LinkedIn too. But I was raised in the country, so I was like, let me go ahead and get this cast iron out, and we're gonna have some food done in a cast iron. She thought it was the coolest thing. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. Thank God we can do it, but hopefully this is not long term. But apparently it was, a dire situation that they had to just cut the power like that, because if it would have gone on longer, from my understanding, it would have been a blackout for the state for weeks to even a month, possibly. Like they said it would have been so much longer than what it was. And I just couldn't even imagine that right now.
And I believe there are several relief funds that are available if anyone is able to make a donation. I'm going to be coordinating with David Boyles, who has started a bit of a grassroots project here in the Valley to get those relief programs out there. Shambrekia, if you have any local that you want to send out to us, send out, and we'll post it on our Facebook and Instagram. So y'all are troopers. It sounds like there's a bit of an adventure that came out of it as well. You learned how to cook on cast iron there.
I feel like I'm fit for camping, but I don't want to. I just don't.
Definitely making some lemons out of this, or some lemonade out of these lemons.
Yes.
So we're coming at the end of our broadcast here. What are any other particular things about the author process or the publishing process that you'd like to share?
So I've been self-publishing through Amazon, and with the exception of a few books coming, I had to send a few back. Like they did one book, but they put two sets of stories in the book. I'm like, no, like y'all didn't even quality check this. With that exception, and then like when they had one of the pages printed upside down, it's been relatively easy to straight print through them. It does pay to have a printer that's local to you because time-wise, it can turn around much quicker. And if you buy those higher volumes, then yeah, that's great too, because you can probably come under the printing costs of Amazon. But for the ease, for the fact that I don't have to put up much startup capital for that to actually take place for the printing, and the fact that my readers can just buy the book on demand and it gets shipped to them within days if they buy straight from Amazon, or depending upon if I have a shipment here, I can get it to them too. It does have its perks. So I can't be unappreciative for the things that I've been able to read from Amazon as far as like just the streamlining of everything. So it's been good. But I do hope to one day be able to get with a publishing company. I feel like it would just steps up from where I am now, and being able to have more reach, and being able to just spread the message more in greater depth and everything. It would be awesome. It would be awesome for us.
Definitely. It's funny that you mentioned how errors can occur. I used to work with a public library, and I would go through the new purchases. Even with big publishing companies, the errors are wild. Like you said, pages being printed upside down or being cut off. Mistakes can happen, and they're going through the factory, and the bookbinders aren't checking that kind of stuff. So it is pretty remarkable what can happen.
I've learned to order extra. It's a learning process. Order extra.
Felicia Miner put in the comments here, Sandy survives winter blizzard coming soon.
That's actually not bad. We can talk. I think it's more her mama survived. She was completely fine.
All the kids got to see snow, and they just made the best out of it.
Yeah, the dog, I think he was the happiest one out of everybody because, he's a husky. So I'm not sure if you saw the video with this dog named Malachi. I cracked up. He told his owner straight up, no, I'm not coming in. And he ran off like, come catch me. Come catch me. But no, it's something about huskies and snow. It's like they are in their element. They are happy. He has taken his leash from me and tried to run away and go play in the snow. I'm like, it is literally single digits. I will leave you. So he's here, I swear. I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me right now.
Let's go back in the snow. It's okay.
He was sad today because it started to melt. And so he looked around and he looked at me. I was like, I didn't do it. I'm not mad about it.
Yes. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's getting a little bit better. Things are melting, so hopefully that means soon it won't be as cold.
Hopefully, especially for everybody that's still without power. I hope that happens quicker than not for them to get restored. And we actually are supposed to be up to 70s, I think, next week. On one day, I think it's supposed to be 67 or 70 or something like that. So keeping fingers crossed.
That is a bit of whiplash when it comes to weather. So what's next for Sightseeing with Sandy?
Well, we actually are with Crowdfund Better and Fun Black Founders, And we are actually working on our campaign for our cards. So the cards will be a complement to the books that we have and have not published yet. But again, it's just taking the opportunity to bring life home to these kids that may not get to technically see the world. So I will definitely keep you posted on that, and I'll share the link whenever we launch. But it's really awesome. And again, she's kind of helping with that too. She's my quality check, and she lets me know if she likes a question or not. And some of these she's just really picky about too. So I'm just like, that's important and it needs to be there. So I take mama card on some of them, but for the most part, I listen to her.
It's always fun to have in-house tester, isn't it? Just that special eye that can get everything there.
Oh yeah, she's good at that.
Y'all can keep up with Sandy at the website below, Sightseeing with Sandy, and there's a ton of other content other than, of course, just promoting the book. They really do give a lot of really great stuff, and there's some pictures there too of discovering the world. So we're still in the middle of a pandemic. We miss all of our readers and having in-person story hours, but I'm just so happy that we can celebrate our first event back in 2021 with Shambrekia and Sandia, and just explore the world a little bit more, listen to each other's experiences, and just get to interact with one another, because otherwise we would just be watching another binge watch of Netflix. So,
and I definitely appreciate as much in-person time as I can have safely, but we strongly believe in social distancing because again, it's still a pandemic going around. So, we just appreciate this connection. We love Freddie, Shannon, Felicia. We love them all. We love you. We thank you for your support and just thinking of us. And hopefully, you will continue to have us when we, release books, because it's just been really, really fun to have this friendship.
Oh, definitely. I think on all aspects with Felicia and Freddie's Let's Have a Fifi, that is more of an adult special event. And then Free Mom Hugs Arizona, y'all have our support here. We love to have you and just have that awesome connection, like you said.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you so much. Also, I will tell you how kids can get a hold of this one. I think we actually sent one to you. Was it in May that we sent the book and one of these in a passport to you all? Or did I send that to Felicia? Somebody won one of these, I think.
I believe Felicia won it.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Felicia got one because I gave it to her, but then you had a reader that actually won one too. So we have.
Shannon, I think that was Shannon. She won the raffle.
Of course she would, because she's amazing like that. I need her luck. Ask her if she bought any lotto tickets lately.
Shannon is an avid follower of Drag Story Arizona. Y'all, it pays to watch our live events because we give out stuff.
That's cool. Well, I will definitely include information about how somebody can get a hold of this man. And we'll just keep you posted on everything.
Sounds brilliant. Alrighty, y'all. Like I said, you can follow Shambrekia and Sightseeing with Sandy on Instagram and Facebook. I believe it's just for both, it's Sightseeing with Sandy, right?
It is. We were able to snack that. Twitter, I'm not even going to lie, I need to up my game on Twitter. Mainly is the IG that has, the robust pictures and contact information and, updates and everything like that. But I'm getting better with Twitter. I'm getting better.
All power to you. I wouldn't know the first thing when it comes to the tweeter. But make sure to follow them there. You'll find wonderful content. And for the rest of the day, Virtual Arizona Pride has a lineup on there. You can visit them at virtualpridearizona.org or visit Facebook there, and they'll get you hooked up with some more live events today. Well, thank you so much, Shambrekia. And if you can go ahead and tell Sandy, it was wonderful having y'all read for us and have a little discussion.
Thank you. I absolutely will. She's back there eating grapes right now. So she's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, just go. I think she's a worse hangry person than me. So
That's brilliant. I think I might take your advice. I have some grapes chilling there in the fridge.
I
That
hope you're lucky with some. Probably not.
Alrighty, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and bid y'all goodbye.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day and be safe, everyone.